Good morning, I'm Diane Macedo. Thanks for streaming with us. In today's update, 19 states are on alert as a massive snowstorm blankets the East Coast. The heaviest snow is moving to the New York area right now with snow rates at 2 inches per hour. The storm has already created a cross-country mess on the roads. LaGuardia Airport here in New York just announced it's suspending all flights. We're also seeing reports of power outages and COVID vaccinations derailed in 7 states. We have team coverage this morning, and Rob Marciano starts us off in Philadelphia with the latest on driving conditions. Rob?
Overnight, a winter whiteout. Plows out in full force, trying to keep up with the massive amount of snowfall expected through Tuesday.
Oh, he might be stuck.
Drivers braving the treacherous road conditions, while others are forced to pull over and wait it out. In Ohio, cars spinning, trying to get traction any way they can. This man jumping on the back of a bumper of that SUV, trying to help the tires dig in, while others ended up in the median. Traffic backed up for hours after a fatal wreck there. The nor'easter could bring blizzard-like conditions to New York and New Jersey, both declaring a state of emergency. The Big Apple halting COVID vaccinations, even for those with scheduled appointments. Across the Northeast, thousands of flights are now canceled. At JFK alone, more than 800 flights. The travel effects from this storm will last for days. Snow emergencies are also in effect for Boston and Philadelphia. More than 250 wrecks reported across Virginia. This fire truck flipping over. Fortunately, no serious injuries there. Chicago now digging out from just under a foot of snow, their second snowstorm in less than a week. These officers out to help stranded drivers, teaming up to push their own SUV back on the road.
And, well, here in Philadelphia, they are trying to get around as best they can. It is sleeting. It's been sleeting for the last several hours now. The buses are still running here on Market Street, but it is certainly very, very slick. This is Independence National Park with Independence Hall there. The snow, 3, maybe 4 inches of it, but most of it is now sleet. That is going to change over to snow as the colder air begins to work in here. But it's been all snow just north of here, a foot of snow in New Jersey, and you'll get at least that, it looks like, in New York City. Let's go over the impacts of this. All the big cities, from Los Angeles and San Francisco to Chicago and D.C., here in Philly, New York, Boston, everybody getting a piece of this storm, it seems like, before it heads out to sea, and that's not going to be for another 2 days. So from Georgia to Maine, we have winter weather advisories in the areas where you'll be most impacted with hazardous travel and some power outages right along the New York metropolitan area, that tri-state area, including northeast Pennsylvania, and maybe even some spots just north of the city with blizzard conditions and times where it will be impossible to travel. That'll be later on this afternoon and tonight as this coastal low begins to pick up steam. That'll bring in more cold air along I-95, at least here in the southern part of it. The eastern part of it, Connecticut up through Boston, stays mostly a mix enough to where it won't be as great of an accumulation, but could see 3 to 6 inches there. Look at this, 12 plus inches just west of New York City. Probably in New York City, I think they'll see 12 to maybe 18 inches of snow. North of that, 12 to 24 inches of snow. And it's, for the most part, it's kind of a heavy snow, so difficult certainly to get out there. All right, a shot for you from Surfline there in New Jersey. Inland or coastal flooding is going to be a problem. Big surf, obviously, not a great beach day, but certainly coastal flooding from the Delmarva all the way up through parts of down East Maine. 1 to 2 feet of inundation there and some roadways flooded. All right, that's because of the wind. It's going to crank. We will see blizzard conditions at times, especially along the coastline. Look at that, near 70-mile-per-hour wind in Montauk there on the eastern end of Long Island later on this afternoon and through tonight. And then tomorrow winding down a little bit, but winter storm warnings are posted really till at least 10 a.m. tomorrow, if not 1 p.m. in the afternoon. It will take some time for this thing to get through, and that's really the hallmark of this storm is the duration of it, and not just here in the Northeast, but it started a week ago, Diane, in California. So a huge swath of the country getting a piece of this storm, and it's far from over here in the Northeast. Diane?
Our senior meteorologist, Rob Marciano. Good thing you have that beard to keep your face warm, Rob.
It helps. Thanks, Diane.
Thanks, Rob. And New York and New Jersey have already declared states of emergency because of the storm. In Jersey, nearly 4,000 plows and salt spreaders have already been deployed across the state. ABC's Stephanie Ramos is in Paramus, New Jersey, with more on that. Stephanie, good morning.
Hey there, Diane. Good morning. As you know, a major snowstorm blanketing this area here in New Jersey. As you just mentioned, a state of emergency is in effect, basically meaning no one should be on the roads except for essential workers and these crews, these plow trucks and those that are dumping salt on the roads, trying to keep everybody safe. But right now we're in a dome. You'll see plenty of salt behind me, about 7,000 tons of it. But we've been here for several hours. We've seen these crews coming in and out, reloading on the salt and heading back out. But let's take a look over here. You'll see the snowy scene behind me, and it's only getting worse. Hazardous conditions out here. The snow is getting deeper and deeper, and that's because snowfall rates are exploding in these New Jersey suburbs. Officials say about 2 to 3 inches of snow is falling per hour. They're expecting about 2 feet of snow here in New Jersey. Those are the amounts, but the impact is another. But officials are urging people to stay off of the roads. Again, only those essential workers, and really stay home and wait this out. This will be the scene for the next several hours into tomorrow. Officials are expecting that heavy snow that Rob mentioned, blizzard-like conditions, and coastal flooding across the state of New Jersey. Diane.
Yep. Not only are you safer if you stay off the roads, but it also lets those plows and salt spreaders clean up the roads that much faster and easier. Stephanie Ramos in Paramus, New Jersey. Thanks, Stephanie. And our nation's capital is covered in snow after 2 straight winters with practically no snowfall. Yesterday, an impromptu snowball fight broke out on the National Mall, and President Biden is enjoying the view from the White House, writing on Twitter he is glad to not need to commute today. Our JANAI Norman, though, she did commute to D.C. for us, and she has more on the storm's impact. JANAI, sorry, friend, you have to be outside, but tell us what's going on. What are you seeing?
Well, Diane, it is raining and it is cold, and it's not that pretty wintry scene here outside of the Lincoln Memorial. You can see this area where there's still lots of slush on the ground. This was snow when we were out here for World News Tonight just last night at 6 p.m. But the snow has really stopped, and it's been this mix of rain and sleet that's been falling. And on the ground here, this is one of the concerns for officials. It's that these cold temperatures and the ice and sleet and rain that's falling, that it's going to freeze over on the ground. It's very slick here walking. It's been slick out on the road, so that's why they're trying to get people to stay home. But you can see this area where there is still some snow from what fell yesterday, blanketing the nation's capital. They are preparing for the biggest snowstorm in 2 years. There was a snow emergency in effect here for nearly 2 straight days. It was supposed to end at 6 a.m. tomorrow on Tuesday, and said that was updated and ended at 8 p.m. last night. But the mayor's still urging people to use caution and to not be out too much because we are still getting this wintry mix falling, and it is very cold, Diane.
And JANAI, I know there have been some cancellations. The Senate is putting off their full votes, but talk about the impact on vaccine distribution, because we're hearing that's been impacted in that area as well.
Right. So the mayor sent out alerts when that snow emergency here was updated and ended at 8 p.m. last night. All local schools are virtual today. City offices opened at the same time, but all local testing sites are closed for today, and that's also impacted some vaccine sites. I saw some that had postings that adjusted their hours, so they were still accepting vaccine appointments that were before 10:30, but as of about 30 minutes ago, there were locations that ended that for today, trying to get people to stay home. So anyone who had an appointment today at this point or later would need to reschedule. Diane.
All right, good to know. JANAI Norman, stay warm, my friend. Thank you. And that does it for this ABC News Live update. I'm Diane Macedo. ABC News Live is here for you all day with the latest news, context, and analysis. I will see you back here at 1 p.m. Eastern for an update on the storm. And in just a moment, we will bring you a news conference from New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy on the snowstorm. Stay safe, everybody.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.